Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Adam Smith, and inside this game unboxing video, I'm excited and looking forward to showing you Dark Venture. This comes from Gilded Skull Games, and it's a 1 to 4 player game. Dark Venture is a retro story-driven adventure card game where players explore a dystopian world called Dark Grange, filled with mutated creatures and ruined landscapes. Using action points, you're going to be playing location, item, and character cards to expand out the map, equip your heroes, and shape an evolving narrative through story entries and choices that you make. Now, the goal of the game is to complete quests and earn quest points, with the solo mode offering either a short 6-round game or a full 12-round adventure. On the back side of Dark Venture's box, we see the core game, including a number of components here. Remembering again, this is the 2nd edition, and it mentions here on the right-hand side, dive into darkness, construct a twisting narrative while exploring a dystopian future with a unique hero, completing quests to win the game. So for those of you out there that are looking for a small boxed adventure card game, this could be the ticket. I can tell you right now, it's a very colorful game and looks really good on the table. Let's take a look at a number of these components on the very top here. We have some dashboards, like the quest point track here, the locations board, and we'll get into the character dashboards and even further into the box, but I'll show you all these components up close. Back inside the box, I want to show you the insert, but there's a few components sitting on top. So first off, we'll take a look through these in just a moment. There's just a few inside this baggie, but I want to show you these dashboards here, which are going to complement the player dashboards that you saw earlier. And these are recessed in terms of the actual boards themselves. You're going to be able to make sure your tracker positions on everything are kept where they need to be, which is nice, including the larger spots in the top right-hand corner. There are 4 of these, and they all look the same. They also have gorgeous artwork, not only on the front, but also on the back too. The artwork in the game, I love this color coding in terms of what they use for colors across this game. I think it's awesome. As we go a little further down, of course, I'll show you these in a moment. You can start to see more recessed areas. You'll see the tiles actually have a spot in the actual insert to ensure that they're not going to fly around. Once you tuck them into position, they're not going to go anywhere. But once we take these out, all these books that are inside here, one by one, have their own spot, these smaller ones, and there's a number of other components off to the side. Let's check out the inside of the core rulebook, and we'll go into the very first page, which is going to lead us right into the illustration for a 2-player game. We also want to find out more about solo, as that's my focus. Now, taking a look on the right-hand side here, 15 solo games is on page 20, so we'll jump to that in just a moment. I do want to show you the structure at the very beginning here. We got the introduction for this book, as well as the game setup here. You can feel free to pause the screen if you wish to read this, and then we're going to go ahead and continue on here. I'll just show you the rough structure of how things are laid out. Of course, there's lots of text at the very beginning, but then the illustrations begin to pop up throughout the rulebook as the examples kind of start to show, and it kind of ties back to iconography in the game as well. So if we hop all the way to 20, then we are going to see the solo game specific section here. So again, you can pause the screen if you wish to read this right now in order to find out more about it. And I think it goes to the 3rd and 4th page here as well. And then I believe after that, there's an appendix. Yes, indeed. And you've got a number of things. Again, this is very illustrated in terms of the different components within the game. So we'll skip all the way towards the end here, and you get the quick reference on the back here. And this works for any player count in terms of gameplay. There are 4 smaller booklets inside the box as well. These are going to be Location Guide A, Actions A, and then this is duplicated but for B on both of them. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look inside of each of these. I don't want to spoil too much in case you've actually never played the game yourself, but I want to show you roughly what's going on inside. So you got the character factions here broken down by the iconography. And of course, when you go through the Location Guide, it's going to give you more specific guidance and rules around the different locations inside of the game. So I'll show you over here an example of that for the crossroads, the lighthouse, the laboratory. It'll give you some text around these different areas and how they're going to work for you. Now, this is the Actions booklet, obviously focused on A, as it mentions twice here on the very front cover. And as you get inside of it, it actually has a mention here, note, to look up the solo version of an action marked with a specific icon you can see over there in the solo action sections of this guide. And again, you've got all the actions depicted across this entire game in a numerical fashion throughout the entirety of the book. Don't really want to spoil all of that, but there's a whole bunch there inside of this A booklet. And you're going to find similar structure and flow between these two as well further inside the game. Now, hopping back inside the box, you can see a number of cards, which I'm excited to show you up close. But first, let's take a look at the components that are buried over to the side here. We've got a number of standees. We've got some nice fancy dice. We've got ourselves some wooden cubes, and it looks like we've got some wooden markers down below as well. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up the game unboxing video for Dark Venture 2nd Edition. And I know inside the solo community, this game is played quite often. I see it popping up all the time, and it looks really intriguing. I've never gotten it to the table myself and picked up a copy myself, and I'm excited to see what this is all about. So I'll be digging into this one in the future. Unsure the exact time frame, but this is looking pretty exciting based on what I'm seeing from the illustrations, the rule books, and just how things are laid out in general. It also looks very small box and easy to set up and to tear down, which is a huge plus. Now I'm going to also show you some additional content I picked up beyond the core. If you're interested in this one and seeing that, I'll just show you the different packs that are available, as well as some neoprene mats. Here's just a high-level view of all the different expansions available. You'll see some come in the form of decks of cards. Other ones are going to come in larger boxes. So the larger boxes have Crawl, Vile Invaders, and Pit Arena, whereas the small box ones are going to focus on things like beasts and monsters, for example. Now, the reason I'm excited to show you this expansion is you can see right here, the expansion includes over 50 new cards for weapons, armor, characters, locations, and quests, but even more importantly, it adds a new solo and two-player game mode to the core game. So beyond the core game, if you're looking to play this one solo, you're going to probably want to pick up the core game as well as this one at the bare minimum to get the maximum out of solo, and of course, you can continue to add more things into the equation with the rest of the content here. The Vile Invaders expansion looks like a big one. It's going to add 70 new cards to the equation, bolstering your core game experience. You're going to be able to explore an exotic island, a crashed spacecraft, a raging waterfall. So it sounds like there's a lot more regions and areas to go further out with. So there's lots of adventures inside of this one. The final one of the bigger box expansions is the Pit Arena, and it says here this is going to include 60 new cards, weapons, armor, character, locations, and quests, and adds an arena map board to the Dark Venture core game. This expansion also includes a standalone game mode, Battle to the Death. Sign your death waiver to enter the pit, earn prizes, and defeat vicious gladiators. That actually sounds like a ton of fun. So one is really focused on exploring out into the game world. Another seems to be focused mainly on the solo mode, the additional one, as well as bolstering the content in the game, although all of them seem to do that. And this arena one really allows you to fixate on going into the pit arena to get some good loot. These packs are smaller than the other three, but they do still provide a number of things like 20 cards. There's also standees and tokens inside of each of them. And as you can see from the back of them, they're going to bolster location, item, character, and also heroic quests inside your experience. So these will do lesser in terms of what they change the overall experience of the game, but they will certainly enhance what you already have and provide more opportunities to find different things within the game world. So I think overall, if you're interested in the core and probably as a solo gamer going after this one as well, because you want to get that additional solo mode into the experience, then these other ones are probably going to be coming shortly behind it if you're intrigued by this one. Now, if you're a fan of Neoprene Mats, you are going to love this as a solo player. You can see here you've got a hero dashboard embedded in with the rest of the dashboards we saw that were all broken up individually earlier in this video. So you can see you got the hero dashboard specifically here, the equipped and inventory all tied into that character. And then you've got kind of those major boards, which were individual inside the core box, but now all combined in one mat. Also, the colors are very vibrant on the neoprene mat. Absolutely love this. And there's also additional mats here you can see for additional characters. If you're playing multi-handed or you happen to have other players playing along with you, you essentially just get half the mat for that character, and you can go ahead and build it off to the side if you want. Whichever side is comfortable for you. It makes more sense to probably place it on this side with the main board being in the middle, but you've got options here, and I love these. Now, there's a little bit of crinkling going on with the neoprene mat because it's the first time I took it out. I'm going to simply just place a really heavy game on top of it. It'll be flat as a board in no time. Long story short, I thought the neoprene bundle was absolutely worth it, so I picked up the entire thing. And that, my friends, is going to officially do it for everything for Dark Venture in the 2nd edition. Very excited to dive into this in the future. Let me know if you're enjoying this one. Actually, I know from the Rolling Solo Board Game community on Facebook, as well as a Discord channel, I have seen individuals playing this one and enjoying it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on a grander scale in the comments, because I'll be digging into this one in the future for sure. Again, not sure the exact timing, but excited to do so. And hopefully you'll join along for the adventure as we dig into Dark Venture. Thanks again for watching. And as always, keep on rolling solo.